Hey everybody, this is Mr. Walsh, and I am going over the classifying matter worksheet, where we have to classify things as elements, compounds, mixtures, and that sort of stuff. And so this is a little bit of a long worksheet, so let's see if we can get through it. Okay, so this first question says to classify things as an element, a compound, or a mixture. So here we don't care if it's heterogeneous or homogeneous. Okay, we just care that it's a mixture. Okay, so I'm just going to take this by column and we'll go through it. So carbon, that is a singular element. It's one capital letter. This is on the periodic table, so carbon is an element. Sugar, it gives you the formula of sugar here. Okay, C6H12O6, so that is a compound. Okay, several elements bonded together, giving you one formula. Milk has ingredients, so this is a mixture. I hope to goodness that this is a heterogeneous mixture. I hope to goodness that this is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, air is a mixture as well. It's a mixture of carbon, nitrogen. Okay, and the oxygen and nitrogen. The oxygen and nitrogen are not bonded together. They're just different parts. And again, I hope that this is a homogeneous mixture, or else we're in trouble. Sulfuric acid, it gives you a formula. Its formula is H2SO4, so it's multiple elements bonded together. So that's going to be a compound. Gasoline is a mixture, a lot of different mixtures, and if you're really looking, this is a homogeneous mixture. It's not chunky when it comes out of the gas pump. Krypton is on the periodic table. Okay, so you may need a periodic table to help you. And so this is an element. Bismuth, the thing that's in Pepto-Bismol. Okay, this is an element. Okay, and uranium, a single capital letter, that's an element as well. So now we come over here. Okay, the second column, H2O, that's a compound. It's got the formula here. Here's alcohol. This is methanol. So this is not the stuff you drink. If you drink this stuff, you'll go blind. So alcohol, that's a compound. Again, it has a formula with multiple elements. A pail of garbage, that's a mixture, I hope. And that's heterogeneous. Okay, there's different chunks that you can see. Here is ammonia. Okay, we just had a little technical difficulties. Just so you know, my camera fell over. So ammonia, this is a compound because, again, two elements, capital letters, two capital letters, and they're shown in a bond here. So that's a compound. Salt, okay, capital letter, two elements bonded together, so that's again a compound. Okay, energy is none of them, so we put an X. Okay, wood is a mixture. You can see the different parts of wood. Okay, there's rings, there's maybe a knot with different texture, so that's a mixture. And because you can see the different parts, we would call that a heterogeneous mixture. Bronze, that's a mixture. And ink, like in my purple pen here, that is a mixture as well. Okay, so the last column here, dry ice, two capital letters, they're combined in a formula. That gives this is a compound. Baking soda, several capital letters here in the formula. They're all bonded together in making one formula, so again, compound. One capital letter all by itself. Okay, I know that there's other letters in it, but the capital letters are the ones that kind of indicate different elements. So this is an element all by itself. Titanium. Iron, that's an element. Okay, popcorn, that is a mixture. Gold, it's on the periodic table. That's going to be an element. Electricity, that is energy. So if energy over here wasn't, then electricity isn't. Okay. A dog, I know that that's silly to think about, but a dog, again, it has different parts. Okay, and so that's going to be a mixture. And then concrete is also a mixture. Let's take a look at question 2 here. It says pure element. We want to match this with these up here. So it says only one type of atom present. So these circles represent the different atoms. Okay, so that is definitely C. Okay, because it's only just one atom there. So this is now a mixture of two elements. So the elements will be separate. You'll have two different circles in the same container. So if we look over here at E, we have the white circles, and here we have the black circles. So this has got to be E. And then a pure compound. So a compound, remember, is elements that are bonded together. Now, there's some compounds here, there's some compounds here, there's some compounds here. Be careful, because in A, let me move this over a little bit. In A, you have two black and one white, but then you have two white and one black. So these are two different compounds. So the one that's the pure compound, only one type, that's going to be B here. Okay, a mixture of two compounds. Well, we just looked at that. That's going to be A. And then by process elimination, the only one that's left is D, but let's just make sure here. A mixture of a compound and an element. Okay, well, you can see these are two spheres bonded together, and here's the circles that are separate. So this is an element, here's a compound, so this is D. Yes, for sure. In theory, you're going to have your own paper out. So we're going to try to determine if it's a substance or mixture here. And then, remember, if it's a substance, it's going to be an element or a compound. And then if it's a mixture, it's going to be either homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, so here's the situation. We take chocolate milk and we add it. We take chocolate syrup and we add it to milk, and then we stir it. So that's going to be a mixture, okay? And that mixture is going to be, we hope, after we're done, homogeneous. We can't see the parts. We can't see the parts of the milk. We can't see the chocolate syrup in the milk. That's the hope. Okay, copper metal. Okay, so this is copper. Copper's on the periodic table. So this is, remember, elements are substances. And then the classification here is that it's an element. Okay, I'll put E is there. Okay, sand is added to water. So again, this is describing mixing two things. But sand doesn't dissolve. So you're going to be able to see the parts. So that's going to be heterogeneous. Distilled water. Distilled water is literally H2O with nothing in it. So this is a substance, it's pure, and you can't see the, and then it's two things bonded together, so this is a compound. Okay, so we'll start working a little faster here. Okay, tap water, the difference between tap water and distilled water is tap water has stuff in it. Okay, so that's a mixture, and again, you can't see the parts, so that makes it a homogeneous mixture. A diamond, this you may not know, but a diamond is just carbon. Okay, so it's just carbon squeezed together. So that's a substance, and that substance now is an element. Okay, table sugar, we talked about that on the other side, but I want to give you some exposure to these things when you don't have the formula. But sugar is a substance, and that makes it a compound because it's all those elements put together. Okay, but now we take the same table sugar and we add it to a cup of coffee and we stir it. So again, that's describing mixing. It's describing a mixture. Okay, and my hope is that because we're stirring it up, you can't see the parts, so that's going to be a homogeneous mixture. Okay, Kool-Aid, for anybody who doesn't know, that's a flavoring that you add and you make juice. When I was growing up, we called it bug juice in Boy Scouts. So Kool-Aid, and then so again, that's describing a mixture. And my hope is that whenever you're drinking something, it doesn't have parts to it. So we have homogeneous. Okay, Coca-Cola, again, you can look at the side of the container and you can see that it's a mixture, has different ingredients to it, and it's not chunky, it's homogeneous. Helium gas. Helium is a substance, okay? And helium is on the periodic table, so that's an element. Mercury, okay? Mercury, symbol is Hg. So you may find out that that's an element first. I mean, it's okay if you didn't. And then we know that elements are substances, okay? So trail mix. It's so funny because the word mix is right in there. So, oh, I skipped one, but we'll do this one. So we know that this is a mixture, and you can see the parts: peanuts, M&Ms, pretzels. So we know that this is a heterogeneous mixture. Hydrogen gas. Okay, that's what was in the Hindenburg disaster. Hydrogen gas, that's a substance, and that's an element. And then the air we breathe. Okay, I will tell you that you're going to see the air thing a lot. That's a mixture of different things, but it's not chunky. You can't see the different parts, okay? And so we're going to call that homogeneous. Okay, so there it is, the answer key for the classification of matter worksheet.